much.
It should be live now.
When you start music now, it's now gospel, you start for sing or no?
No, I don't start gospel. I mean, the first music, my name Baby Joe.
Okay.
I be sing like a poet. I start with like a poetic kind of arty rhymes and fun and just entertaining.
Okay.
And
That's it.
Hello.
Okay.
How are you? Can I call you back?
Thank you. I just wanted to know that because I wasn't really sure.
Right.
Okay. So because I have a question for that. So that's why.
Omo, do you want me to be asking him like follow-up questions?
Bless you, Mama. You don't tell Daddy give you medicine? So what do you want? No, you won't feel better with the toy. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. No, the answer is still zero. Zero to no. So stay in your lane, go to your room, and don't come stress me. Thank you. Amja, whenever you guys are ready.
Almost.
You ready? So
Almost.
Okay, you say Mr. Cole. Do you really want me to call you Mr. Cole?
I'm a joker.
Do you see me laughing?
I just like, it's just that when I'm stressed, I'm anxious. I use talking shit as my coping mechanism.
But ain't gonna work with me, honey. Amja,
Yeah, I'm here.
when you ready, let me know.
Okay.
We're ready. I am ready, ready, steady, 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 steady. Do I have too much headspace? Ooh, it's kind of cold.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
You ready?
I'm asking you, are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready. I'm ready.
Okay, we are live.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great weekend. This is another segment with your girl, Homo, one and only favorite viewers. You can ask any question you want today. You can post it up, and then we'll be able to answer any question. And I'm sure my guests will not have any problem with answering any question that you have for them. Okay? Today, we are taking a closer look at one of our musician life by the name of Joseph G.A. Cole, aka, as we all know him, Daddy Sarge. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Homo. Thank you, SierraCast TV, for the privilege and honor to bring me on board. I thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. We haven't had such a legend of a musician in our channel that have been in music industry for over decades. I mean, 2-3 decades. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So please, can you briefly introduce yourself to my viewers?
Um, I'm the call. I have names, a lot of names that sometimes I forget, but I'm the lyrical warrior for Yamambo, Kondoiti Mamakan Sigbubu Jama, and I take big like Saturday police, the lyrical warrior. Corruption, corruption, it do so bo. Che, you sabi. Yes, it is me though, the one and only Fayamambo the Fire, one of the odds. As you all know, I don't cover over 7 albums, travel the world, do shows, mostly I should say in every continent. And I've been in the music industry for over 20 years. I've been starting from Conakry, Guinea until date. Some years I lay back, from singing, focusing on other things, empowering myself academically, and investing in businesses and so many stuff, family life. But I'm still a musician up to this day.
Okay. Well, my viewers, first of all, I want to say thank you to my lovely Adama. I love it. I'm trying different hair colors, so you will see more of this kind of fantastic hair. And I'll probably show you where to get it as well. But today it's all about Daddy Saj. So we're gonna go into your life now. How did your music career started? What pushed you?
My music career started. It's kind of confusing for me. To is a great question. I started music as in the real setting of music as a church chorister at St. Anthony's. I was about 11 going 12 when I joined the choir then because I was a close acquaintance with the choir master, who is called Mr. McCrae, Robert McCrae. He used to visit our compound because I stayed in the same building where his mom used to be, his late mom now, I should say. And I was a little boy and he just liked me because I like to talk a lot. I'm funny and I like to, just imitate music, all kind of music. I don't even know the words. We call it in Creole chamot, and he just fond of me and say, why can't you join the choir? Because I was a member of St. Anthony. And I'm like, oh, I told my dad said yes. So I started, that was my first real music encounter, and it came out to be, it was exciting. I learned the different keys, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, fa, sol, mi, re, do, bass, and I was placed in tenor because I was young, but my voice was so strong. I have a high octave pitch, very strong. And but I did not last because I could not, growing up was hell for me. I could not afford the luxury to be in training, in practice most of the times. But I lasted for a year, and then it went on to it went on to me just falling in love with this great musician, Buju Banton. I just love the way he raps. I don't even know what he's saying. I was so young. And all day, if I'm doing like work or something or walking in the street, I'll be singing Buju Banton kind of songs in my head. I don't even have a music player, but wherever I hear it, I just go on with it. And my friends started calling me names like different kind of names, like I'm this rapper kid. Like, by then there was no Sierra Leonean music. It was just foreign music. And I continued doing my thing like that until the war came, and no, before the war, yeah. And I was influenced by my friends telling me that you can be a musician, you can be a rapper, you know how to rap. By then it was just American rap and Jamaican reggae dancehall and things like that. That's all we had with some other African songs. There were no Sierra Leone musicians. And I remember, they had a studio called, I forget the name of the studio, but it was on Back Street in the central part of Freetown. And the producer was called Dada. He's called now the late Dada. He was one of the most profound musicians from the days of Afro Combo. He opened up this studio, which was not digital. It was kind of manual. They call it DAT. They used the DAT machine to record. By then, music was not influential or like it did not have any effect in the community. But that was my first time to go into a studio, and that was 1995. I was very young, very, very young. That was the first time I went into studio. Okay. Went into that recording studio. I did an album, which was never released. It was never up to standard. They took all my money as a kid with all my friends who were putting monies together. And but that was my first encounter. And then the war broke up 96 and it was hell. And 97 I went to Conakry, Guinea and lived as a refugee, you know.
Okay.
And so I took that influence with me, you know, and went to Conakry, Guinea. And there I was desperate, young, had nothing to do. I was angry at politicians and seeing my people suffering and dying for just no cause. They have nothing to do with politics. And I was just bloody and angry and deranged. And I, you know, living in the refugee camp, Serekunda, you know, we sometimes come to Bellevue, Bellevue Dixon, where the Sierra Leone embassy was. We were sleeping on the floor, and we went through hell. I had no family, no friend, nobody. You know, I had nobody overseas to send money for me, and I just started this. I don't understand how it all came. You know, I would just stand around with friends, we all gathering, just making fun all day, and I just start automatically rhyming everything around me. You know, if I see the tree, I see the car, whatever comes around, I would just rhyme them. And I just started this poetic phase of my life that was just gifted. It's not like I learned it from someone, I copied it, or I trying to imitate. And people just like to stand around me and they will taunt me, and I will start doing this. So they say, give us the flow, man, give us the flow. And I would be like, the kanda banga, aitan kundu kanda. You know, it was hard. It was fun. People were depressed. People were they lost their families, they were grieving, and it was a lot. So this young guy from nowhere just started, like, you know what I'm saying? It was so entertaining. And that's where the law came from. And there was a guy there, I don't know, I don't know who he is. He was watching me every day, and one day he came, and after I finished, he came and said, do you know Jimmy B? And I was like, I don't know Jimmy B, but I think I've heard of that name. They say he's a big musician from Sierra Leone in some other country. And he said, yes, he's my brother. He said he's going to come to see the refugees. He's bringing some stuff to support the refugees. In about 2 weeks, he'll be staying at Novotel. When he comes, this is my number. Make sure you call me. I want to take you to him and introduce you. He's going to help you. You are a star. He said, you don't even understand what you have. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, you know, 2 weeks after he called me, he said, my brother is here. When do you want us to go see? He told Jimmy B about me. Jimmy B said, what? He said, let me see this kid. Who's this kid? And you know, we went to Jimmy B's hotel. And Jimmy B was with some other stars and all these giants and gurus. And he was like, wow, so you're the kid, you're the man, right? And I was so, like, I could not even smile. I was deadly. I was desperate. I was like full of fire. You know what I'm saying? And he looked at me and he said, so give me what you got, man. Let me hear you. You know, Jimmy B had the phone. I would entertain people. And I was like this. I was so mean looking. And he was like, okay, let me get some. And then I started rhyming. Oh my God, I turned the whole place to fire. Jimmy B said, what? Who taught you this stuff? I said, nobody, myself. I can rhyme for 1 hour. Everything I say ends with O. If I say they should end with A, they will end with A. If I say E, like, it was just so much gift. I don't even know where I got it from. And Jimmy B just looked at me and he said, you know what? I want you around me. I'm going to be here for 2 weeks. I'm going back to South Africa. But for your sake, I will bring studio into Sierra Leone when the war is over. Do you understand me? I said, yes, sir. He said, listen, every day you should be with me. I want to see you every day, okay, until I leave. And Jimmy B took me like his godson and embraced me, encouraged me. I ate lunch and breakfast in 5-star hotels. I was this guy just admiring Jimmy B, like one day I want to be like him. You know, you know, my life changed, you know, but I'm just going back to the start. But I forgot something. Growing up in Crouton Road, Cowdenero, which I don't talk a lot about, I grew up with Cowdenero. Cowdenero was living in we were living one street apart. He was living in Goy Street and I was living in Stewart Street. We all grew up. Okay, we all age group. And we okay, Caldonero has a lot of hip hop influence growing up because all of his most of his relatives living overseas in America, so they used to send clothes and magazines and stuff for him. So he always have this exposure to American hip hop. So he was more like hip hop. You know, we would always laugh. When we're young, we call him motherfucker. That's how we call him growing up. You know, like kids, because when we rap, we do rap battle or flow battle. If he say one word, the next word would be MF. You know, if you say one word like that, because that's how American hip hop was, right? I did not know much about American hip hop, so we don't even know what the word was, but like we used to call him that word growing up. And yeah, and I was the Jamaican, the Buju Banton kind of kid. And you know, we had fun. You know, we used to use those stereotypes that that you put the cassette inside, and he has a button for record and play. So what we would do is how we record our voices is that you will hold the radio stereo up like this. It uses battery, not electricity, and you put an empty cassette inside, and we press the red button and the play button together, and you will hold it so like both ends like this in front of your mouth, and you'll be like and then everybody will be like, yeah, 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 and I'll give it up to Cowdinero, and Cowdinero will continue to press the recording button down and the play button, and he will be like, damn nigga, come down, boom, now shoot you, motherfucker, and that's how we grew up. Most people don't even know about that. Cowdinero, I have pictures up to date, like we were very young, you know what I'm saying? And then the war came. We all ended up in the same refugee camps in Conakry, Guinea with Cardinal. But Cardinal had relatives overseas. He did not even stay there long. And they had a DV, whatever, filing for, you know, people were filing for the relatives. And he left us there. I was there. And after everything, I came back to my country. But that's just a little extra I can say about my beginning into the real music world. It's a long
so throughout this stuff, it says in your biography that you were able to release 7 albums over the span of 15 years. So what were the names of those albums, and why did you choose the name for those albums?
Well, the names, okay, so I did a lot of compilation. I did a lot of collaborations, a lot that I cannot, that is a lot. I really need a list also to recall everything, but I have a few in my head. So the first album, official album I released, was in 2001, which I did at no, that was I don't know how to say it. It was that, okay, that's the first official album. The first compilation where I did my first song that was released was with Paradise Family. I mean, sorry, Planet Sound, not Paradise Family, Planet Sound with Sir Issa. You know, Sir Issa, the dopest producer. So what happened is that after we came back in 2000, when Kaba was reinstated, the late president Kaba was reinstated, you know, we were more enlightened, the exposure we had in Conakry, Guinea, because I did collaboration with this guy. He's late now, he's dead. He's called MC Shanana in Conakry, Guinea. He was big by then. You know, the time I started working around with Jimmy B exposed me to a lot of these Guinean superstars and some of the Senegalese superstars that were coming around, you know, and I had the privilege through Jimmy B to meet with artists by then like Kill Point, you know, Bill the Sam, MC Shanana, Almighty I think Almighty was from Ivory Coast. I could remember these guys. I was rolling with these big guys, you know, and even Jimmy B gave me the first privilege in my life to perform at Palais de Pop. During my days of refugee living in Conakry, Guinea, I performed at Palais de Pop. You understand? That was the first time I ever stood in front of thousands of people to perform. You understand? And there was another group also I was working with called Streets Villasop. So that's how I learned to speak French. I can read French and write. I speak good French, but my French, I lost it on the way. You know, il y en a pas quelqu'un qui parle avec moi. Chaque jour. C'est que j'ai oublié tout le mot. But anyway, I still speak French, but that was like my first real exposure in studio. And then when we came back in 2000, because there were other artists, you know, in the making, so we formed Saisa formed Planet Sound, where I did my first real studio. So we released the album, we launched it, but it was not effective because Sierra Leoneans did not believe in their musicians, because you know the image about musician in Sierra Leone by then was like, if you're a musician, you're like a you're like an alcoholic or like a drug user, a womanizer. There was no good image. There was no positive image about musicians. So even your parents would not even want you to be a musician. So we tried by ourselves. It was not successful. You understand? Because people did not respect musicians. But when Jimmy B came in the picture and launched Paradise Family, he was extremely um, 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 excellent and sophisticated in his way and achieved a lot internationally. So people can look at Jimmy B and Jimmy B throw down that grace on the young guys and ladies and gents that he was helping out. So people respected us because of Jimmy B. It wasn't us, you understand? So when they see Jimmy B, when they see us, they see Jimmy B, until silent music was able to transform to a place where Daddy Sarge can stand in front of the people and the respect is there without even Jimmy B. You understand? But with myself, so my first official album was with was with Paradise Family. It was called Salona Wiyon. You know, Salona Wiyon. I have the great song where I feature Sister Lady Mato is an artist. He's also in England. He's doing some a lot of songs still in the music world, and it was called Salona Wiyon. One no good, fed no good, let we left for the cotton and food. It was wartime. It was about peace. It was about love. It was about why we doing this. Let's love each other. Let's embrace each other. And on that album, the song that is still one of the best song I ever believe ever released in Sierra Leone, even before corruption. Up till now, I can play that song with any other song nowadays. You can see the power of it. And that song took me beyond level. The best song in that album was Congratulations. Bobona Bobo Brana Bra Komona Yago Ubayanda. You smell like fish na banda. Mina the commander left for make propaganda. That song, that song was my landmark. That song took me from 0 to 100. That was the first Sierra Leonean song, and I'm proud to say, in our generation. I'm not talking of the Afro Combos that and all the other bands that died 100 years ago before our generation came by Jimmy B. That was the first song that broke the chain for Sierra Leoneans to start listening to Sierra Leone music. Okay. He was off the hook. The rhymes, the style, it was so original, you can't compare it to nothing up to this day. I can put it with whatever music they play, and that music has been done since 2001. Okay? And that music changed everything. It changed the game. It changed my life. It changed my esteem. It changed respect. It gave me power. It was the first song ever when it was released. There were people, they buy the cassette tape, they listen to it, they write the lyrics word for word, they type it on a piece of paper, like an A4 paper, and they print it out. And kids like from convents, FSSG, girls' school, if we drive around, we will see kids from school, when the school ends around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, they will line up to buy the sheet, to buy the composition from this. Mm-hmm. People made they made so much money just from my lyrics, and all the kids was. I just imagine if it was the days of social media, I'll be a billionaire. Like everybody, everywhere you go, all the guys, all the grand mommies and daddies and younger guys, older guys than me, everybody knew the rap. Everybody goes with the rap. Everybody will recite like all my words, my rhymes, and up to this day. And so that's where. And then my second album, after that album, then I did Corruption, which broke the chain like forever. I don't think I have anything that compared to that. Whatever I've done, maybe in the future, or my new songs coming out, maybe they will. I doubt it. But Corruption is the masterpiece. Corruption. And I think after Corruption, I did the Church album. in 2004 in London, came back, he was platinum. I broke the chain by the first artist to launch his album at the National Stadium. And I used helicopter to go launch my album. I chartered helicopter. Like up to this day, like, people who know knows, like I don't need to say, but like I've done great things because the person who raised me, the person who blessed me, the person who saw the power in me to take over a whole industry and lead was Jimmy B. You know, at the lowest of my life as a refugee with nothing, no, not even food or good clothes, he looked at me and believed in me like, you're gonna be a star. I don't know, there's something special about you. And I'm proud to say I never let him down. I never let the people who invested in me and the people who believed in me, feel bad or regret. I did everything possible. And I had another album after, I think, Densi. I did Densi. I did Watermelon Politics. I did Watermelon Politics. There's one more before that. And yeah, I did collaboration with Ghanaian artists like Sydney. One time I went to Ghana to record an album. I did collaboration with Sydney, who was big. I don't know if he's still singing in Ghana still. And I it, I've done a lot few that I could recall. And I have to say I'm grateful. And you're talking about, before I go too far, the name. How I name my albums, that's a good question. I don't know. It's just a gift. It just comes in. You know what I mean? It's not something like I have to look at something or write down something, or it just blips in, and that's it. And I don't name my album after a song. Like, no, I name my albums just to feel, and it just comes. It just comes. It's just a gift. It just comes. I don't know. It just comes. Yeah.
But that's a good thing. At least you can name it when it comes. When you're talented, you're talented. We can take that away from you. A question two things that I wanted to know. You said you don't like to talk about cow dinero. Why? Is that a reason why?
No, I never said I don't like to. I say I don't usually talk about those things. It's not any why reason. It's just that sometimes I don't like to go to, like, you did not ask me, right? I would have just finished up your question without even mentioning. But sometimes I don't think about it. Sometimes I think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I think about it and I feel like this is the third or fourth time I've said it. Most people don't know. We grew up in the same street, the same neighborhood. So and the war divided us, and he he was more privileged. He had families of relatives overseas and left us at the camps. And good for him. I never knew I will ever be able to make it overseas. I don't even know fly, you know what I mean? But look at me today, you know what I mean? So it's, I'm just bringing things in and out as they come in my head, because it's a general, kind of like interview.
Okay, so what about Jimmy B, the one that actually gave you this chance or gave you this opportunity? Are you guys still in contact? Do you guys still do stuff together?
Jimmy B is I'm a godson to Jimmy B. Jimmy B is the godfather of salon music, and he's always in my life. Even if when I don't call him or check on him, the longest we'll be apart without saying hello, what's going on, is stream on. Jimmy B will text me like his son. He will text me. And tous les sages, that's how he calls me, always sage in French. Okay. He will text me and say, what's going on, son? What's going on, Mr. Lyrics of Fury? He has all these names for me because I have this energy that is more than crack or cocaine or whatever. Like on stage, or even when I'm like, I was the group leader for Paradise Family. He made me the group leader. He did not only bring studio in Sierra Leone and promoted me, but he formed a group, alliance of musicians, the Willie J, the YUKs, the Bingo Man, K-Man, the AB4, I can't even recall all the names. Some, all the ones have passed away. Wizzy Waza, Daddy Loco, Fanta Yeliba, a lot. Paradise Family was like up to 40 artists. And, I was the group leader, and I was the guy that you don't have to say something. I know what you want to say, and it's all done before you even say it. Jimmy B will tell you that because I watched him. I learned. I copied from him. I just, not music, not music. So not just music, but I mean, is presentation, is setup of how he organizes things, how he plans, how he structures his day, how he dresses, the way he relates with people. It was like I learned everything from him, and took it to and drove it to another level, So Jimmy B will forever be in my life.
That's great.
One thing I'm so proud of Jimmy B, it's not about everything that I'm proud of. It's about, I never finished high school in Sierra Leone. I was not fortunate to have family to pay for my GC. I went up to Form 5, but to sit my GC, I never took GC because I never had somebody to pay for me. And I was first in class from going from 4 to Form 5, which was the GC level. And but for one reason, because of my articulate sense of understanding things and upbringing from home, from a humble home, especially my father, I have to give my late father, I have to give credit to. He was the Englishman. He likes to, his Creole was more like English. He was speaking to me. He was 60 when I was born. So I came from this old Abrahamic kind of like family background, and my mom was like 45. So I have this different type of upbringing. Despite there was no food, despite there was no clothes, despite there was no shoes, but my brain was always ticking. Like I learn everything I see, I have to read and understand. My dad kind of, so most time, even when I became the president for the Sierra Leonean Musicians Union, and a lot of interviews I did on BBC, Voice of America, the days of corruption, and my English, I was not 100%, fluent like I can express myself now. But most people thought that I went to college, to Sierra Leone University or something, which never happened. Never happened. So but my biggest dream deep down was to become a graduate, to be a graduate one day and graduate from college or university or whatever, and be a doctor or somebody. And in reality, when I got my first degree in college, I think that was my associate degree, not my
Okay, we're going to be going to that later.
No. I'm ending with Jimmy B.
Okay.
Jimmy B flew to United States. I told him, he was in Sierra Leone. I told him I'm gonna be graduating, earning my first degree. That was my associate degree, not even my BSN. And Jimmy B flew to United States, and I have those pictures and videos to watch me graduate on stage. And I shed tears like a baby. I remember, there were a lot of friends that came to support me from Maryland, all over, everywhere, and Jimmy B came a little late, but he was there. We were just talking and hanging around, and I just saw this man coming with his bag, and I'm like, oh my God, that's my, like, you know what I mean? So that's something I'm grateful for, because he was proud of me. So you asking about Jimmy B, Jimmy B is like a godfather to me. Like nobody can take that ever. Okay.
Okay, let him know I'll be calling.
You'll be calling?
I'll be calling him because I'm gonna be having him as well. So just let him know.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. I'll be calling him. Let him know.
Okay. He's a godfather. Don't worry. You'll get the best from him. What you're getting from me now is just chavs. This is nothing. This is just remnants.
Well,
You get the best. You get the premier recipe from him, the godfather.
Well, good. I can't wait. I'm shaking in my boots. I'm excited. So I'm great. I'm happy. So I know, before I go, actually, another thing. What would you tell, because the kind of lifestyle that you had was really hard growing up, but you still never gave up. You still did what makes you happy, and God guided you and bring you to people that can actually appreciate your talents. So what would you tell the young youth right now in Sierra Leone that are going through a lot of things as we speak, that has also no food, no clothing. They're out there waiting, just like you. Some of them never finish school, and those that even finish school still don't have jobs. What kind of encouragement will you give them right now?
That's a great question. This, I have to say, you know, when I moved to United States in 2008, um, it was all good, you know, because the way I was blessed to be here. But things, the table turned around. And one thing I have to say, which relates to this question, was that there were times I would have joined bad friends. There was a time I would have joined the drug dealers. There was a time I would have joined. Things were so hard for me in America. When I say hard, I thought it was a curse. Okay, and I'm not ashamed to say it because I use my pain, I use my suffering to empower other people for them to believe there is hope. Don't give up. Don't think because I went through hell in this country. And today I'm blessed to be where I'm at. I'm not even done yet. But I have to tell people listening to me in this United States, the temptation for me to turn out to be because of the platform I was as Daddy Sarge, as a superstar, a former superstar, whatever, I never let it sink that, oh, you're broke. Look at your friends you're rolling with. They want to give you some deal. You're going to make $10,000, $15,000, this illegal stuff. But every day I sit back and say, this is not me. I made a promise to God. I made a promise to my late dad. I promised him I will never be part of anything illegal, anything unlawful, anything that is negative, anything. You understand me? You know what I did with my life? With no degree, with no money, not as an active musician. I found a job. I became a home carer, like they call them in the United States, home health aide. My first job in this country was a home health aide. Okay? I suffered with my name and reputation. I have folks, friends who knew me, they were laughing at me. Okay? And after that, I became a security. I did security guard. Okay? By then, I was in college. A guy who had no high school certification, high school diploma, with nothing, no academic background. I just said, I want to go to college. I want to be educated. I pushed myself. I did all the shitty, dirty, stinking, cursed jobs you can name in this country just to get myself through school. I was handsome, built, I have good body, good looks. I can date any woman to take care of me. I don't even need to work. They will take care of me. I go to school, pay my bills. I refused. Okay. You might ask, why is Saj saying all of this? Which is kind of like unrelative to the question. No, it's relative. What I'm trying to say is with the question is that I feel bad when I see young boys, joining gangs and all this, doing all this mischievous kind of like, crimes and things like using blades and knives to stab people just to take their phones, going to do robbery, and they just want to be a bad for the sake of being bad because they came from a poor family, they have no future, they have no hope, so they just say, you know what, I'd rather be bad. I'd rather start taking drugs, drinking Pampers, drinking all kind of chemicals, wasting their lives, wasting their destiny, wasting their future just because they're poor. Listen, bro, you might be looking at me or you might be listening to me, whether ladies or gents. I came from the poorest family. I grew up being the poorest kid in the neighborhood. Even when I came to America, I lost everything. I lost everything after my first phase of life in America. I started from the gutter. Okay. One thing my dad gave me, he wasn't able to give me food. He wasn't able to give me clothes or money or anything because he was poor and retired. And he was old. I have to go to neighbors to fetch water for them, help them with yard work and things so they can, they can give me food remnants to eat for the day. Okay. Growing up. But one thing my dad always told me, he said, Junior, he said, you're born to be a king. Do you understand? He said, never sell your birthright. Do you understand me? He raised me up with the Bible, He raised me up in the Bible, you know. There are a lot of examples in the Bible where, people of God, the name who sold his birthright to his brother just for food. You know, there's a lot of stories. You know, all those messages and transcend, and then it impacted my life. So I went through hell. So what I'm trying to say here, not because you come from a poor family, not because you're broke, you don't have a future, you don't have a high school education, you don't have nobody who cares for you, because you know the only way you think as a girl you can have money to eat, you have to sleep with a guy to give you money to eat. Listen, we've all been there, but one thing you should always remember and believe in yourself: don't destroy your destiny, don't destroy your future, never give up. I never gave up, and I bet you my life one day this same that is out who was not able to finish high school in Sierra Leone, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna become a doctor with a PhD in the most sophisticated country in the world, not even in Sierra Leone. Okay, you know why? Because I believed. I had no support, no background, nothing. No one to even ask me, "Did you eat?" Or the word "I love you." I think I heard that word when I was going nearly when I came to overseas. When I started coming overseas, I never heard that word in my life. Nobody ever told me "I love you." It doesn't exist. But I made it. So for you to be, I don't know. Okay, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't take drugs. Everybody around me knows that. I'm a clean, green, organic guy. Okay, but I'm not better than you doing all of that. All I'm trying to say is that don't be bad for the sake of being poor, or for the sake of not having somebody to support you, or for the sake of not having connections or influence, or whatever. Believe you're born to be a king. You're a king, you understand? Or you're a queen, or you are great. You're born for greatness. Just believe, you understand? That's all. I hate to see this happening, you know, but what can I do? I'm not criticizing anyone. And my message coming back to music or influencing the people in my country is not to criticize them or make them feel they are lesser than me. No, I want to sit with them, eat with them, walk with them, ride with them, teach them stuff, tell them stuff, do symposiums, do teachings, like lessons of empowerment, like things that will help these people. I'm not going to help people who are already there. No, I'm talking about people who don't understand anything about the world, or how to make it, or believe in themselves. They have low self-esteem, so they rather just wake up at night and put themselves together and take a machete and break into people's house and kill who they got to kill just for some little money, because they see themselves like outcasts. They see themselves like neglected. They see them. No, you don't have to, son. You don't have to. You can be, you can be whatever, and God can use you for greatness in the future. Just like Paul in the Bible. Paul was the general. He woke up every day, go to villages, kill thousands of Christians. That was his job. But what did God do? God used Paul to write 1/3 of the New Testament in the Bible that we read today. You understand what I'm saying? God can use you for greatness. Don't ever look down on yourself. Don't ever cry yourself down. Don't ever turn to be bad for the sake of being bad. No, don't. That's my message.
Thank you so much. And I know people really appreciate it, because most people don't really talk about how they started, or what they didn't have and stuff like that. They will tend to cover that side. They don't want nobody to know about it. But for you, it's an inspiration to me to be truthful, because it's not going to change anything. If you say you were not or assistant, or you were this, it's not going to change the position that you already have right now.
I even drove taxi, yellow cab taxi in New York City for the longest while I was in college, nursing school, struggling. How many Sierra Leonean people laughed at me? Today I see myself, I'm like, wow, because nothing can bend me, because I wasn't born just to show off my cars and my chain and fake whatever. No, I was born to empower. I was born to lead. I was born to stand for righteousness and the right things, be an activist. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do to get to where I'm going. And I'm there. I'm on the way. I've earned so much, and I'm not even done yet. So listen, brothers and sisters, you can be anything. I'm not saying criticizing, kids or whatever, gents and ladies who were born silver spoon. I wish I was one of them. I would be, oh my God. But it doesn't matter, right? We all have different route, but we all get to the same destination. And that's where I'm at. And it's okay. I'm just telling you who were born just in the same position like me. Believe in yourself. If I can make it, you can make it. Don't let anybody take your birthright from you. Don't let anybody take your integrity from you. Don't let everybody take your dream, you understand, your power, your glory. Don't ever. That's all you get. Hold it, okay? And believe in yourself, and you're going to make it.
Okay, well, our new motivational speaker award goes to Daddy Sarge. I'm just trying. I'm trying to lighten the mood, and I hope our young ones out there can see this video. That's why I ask everybody that is viewing, please let's share this video. These are the kind of things that our young people needs to hear, because they all think they're the only one that went through stuff or they're going through stuff. We all understand the pain and the suffering and the poverty and the restlessness that we all have. But sometimes you just got to be strong. It's not going to be easy. Not everybody has a dream route. Some people have to go through stuff to become good, to become great. So I want to say thank you to Daddy Sarge for that good advice. As I say, you're my new motivational speaker now.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go off. I know you said you had you won a lot of awards. Can you remember what kind of awards you won?
I have a lot of awards. I won a lot of awards. I've won Best Album of the Year twice. I sold the highest ever in Sierra Leone. Corruption, and even church album. And I have won Best Hip Hop. By then they call it hip hop. It wasn't hip hop, and we call it Afro Juju. And I've won music awards such as oh god, it's been like 15 so long ago. But one thing I have to say about all my awards, my achievements as such, the one biggest that I'm proud of is when I was rated the 9th best musician in Sierra Leone in 2004 by the BBC Africa Music Award. And imagine the whole of Africa. Sierra Leone was nothing, nowhere, but I was able to make it in the first 10. And I had a record deal with Shrine. The Shrine is a record label in England that do a world compilation every year. And my song, Corruption, It Do So, was part of it. Even though the quality did not meet the international standards, because we recorded in a Sahisa studio, and it was 2 studios I worked in. And what's the other producer's name? I forget it. And the standard was not there to meet, but let me tell you something. My song in 2004 was part of the Shrine album, and the BBC named me the Music Crusader. They named me. They themselves named me, and I carry that title up to today. If you type the Music Crusader on Google, Daddy Sarge will come up. I won that award, and I'm proud, and there are the few awards I still win here and there, but there's one I'm waiting for, but I'm not due yet. I'm not due yet. That comes with age and time.
well, till then.
I'm still young. I'm not old yet. That will come. Those are the type of awards I'm looking at. Philanthropy. Not just music I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Things that have to do with bigger, bigger kind of like setting.
I know what you're talking about. That doesn't have to do with music, but has to do more with the great thing that you're doing in your country and other places as well.
Lifetime, we call them lifetime achievement, lifetime achievements. Those are the stuff I'm looking into. So that's why I try to maintain. I try not to sell my birthright because I'm broke in America and my friends are doing, illegal stuff, and I join them so I can make $5,000 or $10,000. No, I don't, because I have a bigger fish to fry. Okay. So I don't want to lose my reputation and lose my esteem and integrity just for some little cash. And, what will I say to myself? What will I say to my kids, my family, my mother? What will I say to, the people who love me, my loved ones. It's disgraceful. So I pray, even when our time comes, the storm comes, all I lean to is my God, and He
Mhm.
gives me the strength that I need to go through until the storm is over.
Okay, great. Well, now going off of the topic, I'm gonna something that I wanted to know, and I know maybe a lot of people already know. You've transformed your life by taking a break from the music industry, okay,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go back to school.
Mhm.
What inspired you? Because I know you're Creole, and I know Creole people like school. But I'm not saying how to please my viewers. Don't take this as the wrong thing, or just Creole people like education. That's what it is. So what inspired you to do that?
Okay, it's as simple as this. The reason why today I find myself in the medical world, which I'm still working on, I'm not done yet, because this is America, I got bills to pay. I'm not a kid like who have parents that can take care of me. All I do is sit in classroom. I have a family. I have hundreds of people to take care of that depend on me, that look up to me. Even if it's 50,000 leons, they will get it. Um, when my mother, my biological mother, I met with for the first time when I was 10 years old. Okay. My aunt raised me. I thought she was my mom. And then when I knew my dad because my dad used to come around every week or month. So that was the first day I knew that my aunt was not my mother. I was 10 years old. At least I have a little bit of logic thinking. And they introduced me to my mother. My mother is, most people know her. She's deaf. She speaks, but it's not clear when she speaks. You have to be around her for a while to understand what she's saying. And she has a little bit of imbalance on steady gaits because she has some trouble with her cerebellum. But I don't want to go to the cause for that, which in Africa we call it witchcraft. They were trying to kill my mother for properties they say owned by our late dad. Anyway, my mom was not able to raise me, and so as a kid at 10, when I saw my mom, this lady who was sick, I burst into tears. And I have this, I don't know how to call it, I don't know what name I could compare it to. This type of zest in me that came out. Nobody heard it. I only heard myself. That said up to this day I can remember as I'm feeling emotional right now that I said, when I grow up, I will definitely be a doctor. I want to heal I want to give my mom the treatment that will bring her back so she will look like every other mother. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
grew up with that pain. Nobody ever knew. Like every day I go to school, I say I want to be a doctor. In Africa where I grew up, you cannot even say the word. That's like a taboo. Your parents will throw you into the river to the gods, to the dark gods to eat you. Like in America, 5-year-old kid can say, "When I grew up, I want to be a lawyer." No, in our community, in my culture and society, you cannot say that by then, because that's like, "What? Are you crazy? We don't even have food to eat today. Talking about you, who's gonna pay your college? Like you cannot even say it as a kid. That's the world I grew up in. But in deep down in my deepest heart, I always say that to myself. Okay. And nobody ever knew. I never knew I would be a musician. That's so weird. It's the weirdest part because I never knew I would be a musician or become one. Never. Or an entertainer. Never. The war in Sierra Leone transformed my life to be an activist, a poet, by rhyming everything that was going on as people were suffering to entertain them and make them laugh. And it turned me out to send me to become a musician. Okay. So I was always deep down in my deepest secret that I want to be a doctor one day. Today,
Mhm.
my mom is 86 years old. I'm giving her the best of life that I can afford. I built her a beautiful home and I'm doing my best. She has all the care in the world and I'm proud. She loves me, and I'm not able to go one day. And my mom, I don't think even my mom drinks Tylenol or anything. She doesn't even know what I'm. Now I'm in the real world. I'm saving other people's lives every day. That's what I do, and they're blessing me. But I'm like, but I came to this medical field or to this providership, healthcare providership to go home and take care of my mom. But you see, my mom is okay. She's doing well. She's great. But that's where it all came from. So even though I excelled in music, I became the biggest, the best. Listen, that was not me. The real me was I want to be a doctor. I want to save lives. I want to save, today I always tell myself, Joseph, don't worry. You don't need to worry about your mom. Your mom is in good hands. But the lives you're saving, the old people, in the hospital or around or wherever you work, the old people and the young people, their lives you're saving, the kids, God will still bless you. I'm so proud of my job. Even when I got coronavirus, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I was not even completely ill. I was fighting with my OHS department that I want to come back to work. They have to clear me. They said, Mr. Cole, rest. Don't worry. You're getting paid. Why are you stressed? Just relax. I said, no, I want to come back to work because I love my work. Everybody around me said, why can't you just rest? Are you not afraid of Corona? I said, no, I love saving lives and I'm going back. I'm going in and I'm in again. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I wanted to do, not music. That's all I want to say.
Okay, so how I know you say you wanted to become a doctor, and I know now you already have your bachelor's. You're trying to get your master's and stuff, so you can get your PhD. So how is that going for you?
It's going well. I took a break because of family, and I had a lot of more responsibilities and time that I needed. But it's all going well. I'm continuing soon. I'm going to start again to continue and end. And so it's like, okay, when people talk about doctor in Sierra Leone, all we think growing up was like a surgeon, somebody who open up people's. Well, I'm not going to be a surgeon. I'm not going to be whatever. In America, when you say a doctor, they're going to be like, what kind of doctor? Because we have like 20 different types of doctor. But I'm going to be one of them. Okay? I'm going to be one of them. And but by the time I'm able to complete my master's, definitely I'm like 80% doctor because I see people, I prescribe, I refer. If you're having cardiac issues, I can read labs and everything and x-rays and everything. I'm licensed and I perform in the capacity of a doctor. I'm not talking of a surgeon. I'm not talking of a chiropractic. I'm not talking of a OBGY. No, that's not what I'm talking of. I'm talking of the basic, of a doctor, which means you come see me and I prescribe, I assess you, do your lab, send, prescribe medication for you. And if you're having cardiac problems, maybe your dimers, your enzymes or cardiac enzymes or whatever looks bad on your lab work, then I know who to send you to. If it's a kidney, I know who to urologist. I know who to say, you understand? That's the capacity I'm going to be practicing in, which in Sierra Leone, if I go back, I can have a clinic or even a hospital, in different kind of level. I don't know, but I can be, I think inside I can say a family doctor, the doctor you go to every year to check your physical, check your labs and complain and do work up on you if anything comes up on the way, which they have in Sierra Leone. I can, with all whatever I'm looking at, I can be able to practice in my country as a family doctor. And it's not about the whatever I can say, the money or the fame or the whatever behind it. It's just what I love to do. I just want to save lives. I love helping people. I'm a philanthropist. I love giving. I love supporting people. So it's just it's just what I was born for.
Yeah. Okay. If you finish with your degrees and all this stuff, do you think of, because I know I'm not going to go too much into it, but I know that in our country we both come from the same place. Our medical system is very bad. The hospital are not well equipped for a lot of things. Are you thinking in the future? I'm not saying maybe 5-10 years from now of getting your own hospital down there, or medical wise trying to invade the Sierra Leone medical and try to help people, since you already have all the knowledge and also you've seen equipment in your job that you do today?
If I'm planning to go back to my country and practice?
Yeah, not only practice, but maybe own your own hospital, some medical equipment back home that are really needed.
Okay. in my way of thinking and planning things, I put God first. I never knew I would become a musician, but God used music to bring me to where I am to be able to accomplish my biggest dream. I have all these good deeds, these good thoughts, this great ambition, right? But at the end of the day, I believe I don't know what God has for me. Okay. And in reality, to your question, I will say definitely I'm planning to have my own hospital. I'm planning to have to build the biggest, best, most sophisticated hospital in the whole of Africa in Sierra Leone. That will, when I see Sierra Leone ministers and all these rich people, wealthy people in Sierra Leone, they're traveling to overseas just to do their physical. They're taking their wives just to give birth overseas. It's a shame, it's a disgrace. Now they go to even up to Ghana. Can you believe it? Like I mean, these people will show up with a Range Rover that costs like $150,000, and there will be like 25 houses, mansions. Like they will, I don't even know what to say. Which I'm proud of them, but like
And that's the problem.
it's a disgrace. You know what I'm saying? So my dream, even though I don't have that kind of money, but my dream that I'm speaking to my God, God, give me the influence, the connection, or the money. I don't know how it's gonna come. Just do it for me. I want to save lives. I want to go to Sierra Leone. People don't have to fly to Ghana. They don't have to fly to United States, Europe, or some of them even go to India to do some stupid surgery that even a blind child in China can do. You understand? They have to fly all this way. It's a disgrace. Like, I feel so. My dream. I don't want you to listen to my dream and think that that's the plan. These are things that I'm ambitioned about. These are things that I wish. These are the things you know what I mean? If I win the lottery, or I don't even, I'm walking on the road, I pick up like $1 million or $1 billion on the ground from the floor, like I will take it to Sierra Leone. Whatever I can do in this my life, I don't know when I'm gonna die. Listen, I will do my best to make Sierra Leone be one of, I remember the days when they used to say, they used to call Sierra Leone the anthems of Africa or something. When they had Afrobeat College, Sierra Leone, like white people used to go to Sierra Leone, Nigerians, Ghanaians, all over East Africa. People used to fly. Rich people used to send their kids to the Afrobeat College in Sierra Leone to study. Sierra Leone was called the Athens of Africa. I want to make something that when I die and leave this world, the world will remember me. Sierra Leone will remember me. You understand? That's my dream. I don't know what the wealthy people nowadays, their dreams is about. Maybe it's just to be comfortable and on their own. That's fine. I don't have to tell people what to do with their money. And I'm not criticizing anyone. But I'm just saying, this is my plan. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but yes, I want my own hospital. I want to change the healthcare. I want to save lives in Sierra Leone. I've seen a lot of my friends died of headache. A lot of my friends died of some stupid thing that right here sitting, when they explain to me on the phone how he died or what happened, I have the treatment plan. I know what to do. And I'm shedding tears. How can I help? A lot of this, you know what I mean? So if I cannot do it now, I pray one day in the future I can do it.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I pray God do it for you too, because it's gonna, as I say, you have the know-how, the knowledge, you have seen the equipment and all the stuff. You've worked for everything that you have, and I know that you can make it. So praying to God that God answers, because whoever is in Sierra Leone is not doing it. So we got to find a way to do it, because we have people over there, and most of them that you see that are rich. I don't know what their dreams are or their ambitions are. Well, I guess it has nothing to do with our people. I'm not trying to criticize, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on. I received I saw a video that went viral of you talking about you being sick with this virus, the coronavirus. Okay. How did it happen to you? I know you work in the hospital, don't get me wrong, but I'm wondering how it happened and how is your health now?
I am well by the grace of God. I am here sitting today alive. I call myself the return of the ghost. And but it's all by the grace of God. I'm not better than all of my colleagues. nurses, doctors that passed away in different facilities all around the world, for me to face death and come back to life. But to answer the question about how I contracted the infection, I work in emergency room as an emergency room trauma critical specialist. And I think, says one of my doctors that I work with, he said, Joseph, we're all infected long time ago, because we all know the government was dilly-dally in their judgment about this coronavirus while it was rampant in China. Like, oh, it's a Chinese disease, it's not gonna come here. And what happened at the end, it was like, 1 second, please. Trying to see how I can get my stuff so I don't lose power. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so it all happened to say that I work in emergency room, and this coronavirus had been in this country for a little while before, the government would take over and focus in investing into it. So we working in the emergency room, which is the frontline care, because you cannot just come into the hospital and you go to med-surg or go to the cardiac unit or telemetry, or you have to go to emergency room because we triage you and we decide.
Your mic is out.
Okay, is it working?
Yeah,
so,
it's on now.
After this question, I have to fix my stuff because for one reason I'm losing up power, which I'm shocked. Anyway, let me just answer the question. So it was kind of difficult because I was working just like my other colleagues without proper protective gear and taking care of people coming with coughing, sneezing, flu, all kind of stuff. No mask, no eye shield, no gown, nothing. Okay, so I believe, just like my other colleagues, that I was infected, long ago. Long ago, I was infected, just that because maybe I have a good immune system, and by the grace of God, that's why it did not show. But all of us have been infected a long time ago, and I just, our immunity was good. So, it was able to fight out until it got tired and just say enough is enough, and that's all. I go nowhere. I had no one to meet with. All I do is work, church, school, and home. That's all. That's all I did. So I contracted the disease from my work, taking care of sick people, taking care of COVID patients, until we find out that COVID was, by the time we start using all the proper gears and protective gears, it was like we already infected. So most of us working in emergency room, just like other facilities all around the world, in the United States and even in New York City where I live, got infected. A lot of nurses lost their families, lost their loved ones. Their babies will grow up never knowing who their father was or their mother was. So it's unfortunate, but that's it.
Okay, well, that's that. At least you're good. You're alive and kicking, and you're feeling good, because I know you started doing some regular stuff that you used to do before. So we're grateful for that, for your life. We're gonna be rounding up pretty soon. So I know you do music, but I didn't know you do gospel. Okay, so what was the trigger that you went from being everybody call it worldly music, so I'm just going to say that worldly music. What was the trigger from being a worldly musician to saying you sing in gospel? What was the turning point?
There was never a turning point. There was never, I have to admit. I grew up in a Christian home. I was an altar boy at the age of 10 at St. Anthony's. I moved to be a communion carrier and I ended up being a chorister. And I never knew I would be a musician. The war came later. You know, I turned out to be a musician, from being an activist, a poet, to an activist, to a musician. If you listen to most of my albums, you will hear a gospel song in each of them. Okay, and but the real part was I did not know much about the Bible. My father raised me as a Christian kid. You know, I know my wits about me. Okay, I never lose them. I've never lost, you know, my wits about me because I knew where I came from. Okay, but I was not educated enough about the Bible. I did not know much about the Bible directly like I am today. Okay, I'm competent enough to read the Bible, go to church, and understand what the pastor's saying. Not like I used to just go to church and know I should not. I all I knew by then was the Ten Commandments. You understand? I don't know the Bible. All I know is the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt steal. Thou shalt not hate thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Well, of course you will know that.
Everybody, even the pagans know that. So my Christian growing up was more like the Ten Commandments. But now I always want to be a gospel artist, but it's hard for me because I needed to know much. I lack knowledge. I need to empower myself in that curricula to the point that I can have a gospel show. I'm not talking being a pastor because everybody thinks that as soon as you know the Bible and you can say 2 verses, you're a pastor. No, I see people becoming pastors. They're pastors of churches. I understand. I'm not here to criticize anyone's call, but listen, some of them are not fit to be a pastor, not because you know a few pages in the Bible or a few stories or understand the pastor. It's with a lot lifestyle. It comes with a lot. So for me, it was hard, even though it came to a point where I was able to read the Bible, understand the Bible. It was hard for me to be a gospel artist because I just don't want to be a gospel artist just because I know a few pages in the Bible. I want to live the life. I don't want to be a gospel artist and I'm having sex with 10,000 women. I don't want to be a gospel artist and I am drinking alcohol and I'm coveting my neighbor's wife and I'm not paying my tithes. I'm not doing charity. I'm not even taking care of my kids. My kids don't even know me. They don't even see me. I don't even provide for them. You know, like we all know what I'm saying. No, I don't want to be that kind of pastor. I don't want to be that kind of, I mean, sorry, not pastor, gospel singer. I want to be a gospel singer, but I have the scars on my back that I'm living right. I can look God in the face and say, here I come, Father. You understand? Not like, oh God, have mercy on me, Lord. You know, no, you know what I'm saying? I want to, so it was hard for me to transform. But as I grow older, as I grow more, you know, accurate in my academic and exposure in a lot of areas of my life, you know, I'm able to see myself like, I think it's time, you know. But the trouble was again that, you know, sometimes we always think like, I'm not perfect. I don't think I should be doing this. Let me just serve God. No, there's no one perfect. That's why Jesus said in the Bible, he say, who know he's perfect, he have never committed sin. Let him be the first to throw stone on the woman that they wanted to stone to death because she committed adultery. And no one did because everyone is a sinner. So why are you throwing stone on another person who committed sin? So what I'm trying to say is that I'm at the place where I know what's wrong from what's right. You know, some stuff they're not really from the Bible. We just copy and learn it from culture. You know, like people say, do as I say, not as I do. No, that's dumb. I cannot be preaching to people, don't cheat on your wife, don't steal from others, don't you know what I'm saying? I'm preaching that, but I'm doing that. And I say, don't do as I say, don't do as I do as I say. You know, those culture, they are dead, you know, to them in hell and burn for life.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that's wrong.
Let me ask you one thing. What makes a good pastor?
And the side of a pastorship, what makes a pastor? One, it has to come with lifestyle. Okay, lifestyle, contentment. Um, the word of God is a calling when it comes to pastorship. I don't have to, it's not like a job that you go to college for and you get a degree and you become an accountant. I just believe it's a calling. It comes with a spiritual dominion, not just waking up because you're able to read the whole Bible like a magazine or a novel and you know it word for word means you're a pastor. It comes with a calling. Okay, and I cannot go to spirituality or judge the judgment of a spiritual of dominion grace because I'm not fit to. But I have to say, I condemn not, as the Bible say, judge not my anointed. But all I'm trying to say is that I have seen videos of pastors on social media, and you know what I'm saying, and the people right now know what I'm saying, who have become a disgrace to the kingdom of God. And the dark agents are using that to cry down every pastor that was called by God, that has devoted their life and their money, their income, their time, everything just to propagate the word of God out there to save lives. You know what I'm saying? People judge honorable pastors, they are thieves, man. They just have in churches just to steal money from poor people because one or two pastors did it. No, that's why if you ask me what's the advice to be a pastor, there should be a dominion grace, a calling on your life, not just because you know the Bible. You can be an elder in church and support another pastor who maybe has the calling better than you, just like compared to Elijah and Elisha in the Bible. Elijah was able to pass it on, rather than everybody wants to open a church, So because Daddy Sarge reads some few passages in the Bible in few years and is able to live the lifestyle, so now I'm a pastor. No, that doesn't make me a pastor. Okay, that doesn't make me. That makes me to support the kingdom of God with my money, my time, and my lifestyle. You understand, and support who God has called, and be behind like a sheep following a shepherd. Okay, it's not so talking about pastorship. God bless all the pastors, respect to them, but I'm sorry, I don't know about Muslim imams. God bless them all. But all I have to say is, please, I mean, not everyone was called to be a pastor because you know the Bible. That's the truth. Please, you can do 10,000 things better than even pastors propagating the word of God, and you're still not a pastor.
Okay.
And I can give an example before I go, like DJ Shaba. DJ Shaba is one of the most profound DJs in from Sierra Leone. No contest. No one can argue to that. Okay. You know how much I admire him with every life he had lived. He takes 2 hours of his time on Sunday. He's still a DJ and play gospel songs live, the watch party thing. Play hundreds of gospel songs, and he's giving shout out. Like he used to do it for the worldly people, for the pagans, for the people who just want to sing about look, sex, and girl. He did it all, but he gave his life. You know what I'm saying? He gave his time. It's not like he's saying that I'm better than you pagans or I'm better than no. He's doing that. So him going to church, him reading the Bible doesn't mean that he has to call himself Pastor Shaba or Pastor. No, he uses his music talent that God has blessed him to play the same song. It was the same way he used to play for people in the clubs and everywhere. He plays for God's people. You know how much, you know what that means? So the same with me. I used to sing che 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 che, Isabi, all these girls shaking their bum and doing all kind of flips on stage and entertaining people. Yes. Why can't I use that same way, that same energy, and sing for God on stage and dance and do the flips and do the bomb bouncing and all? So
I guess we're two then at the same lane when it comes. I always say if I go to the club and shake my butt, I need to go to God and shake my butt too.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. I'm not criticizing. I'm not better than anyone. That doesn't make me a pastor because I'm singing a gospel song. I can have a talk show on whatever about the Bible. No. Okay.
People just take the church to make it too strict and too seriously that nobody is really wanting to go because everything is so uptight. You have to be like this, you have to be like that. So I think maybe that's why. Okay. Well, we're going to we're going to be rounding up now. Any last word before we close down this?
One split second. One split second. One second.
Okay.
Of this stuff before I lose everything. Yeah, what was the question again? Sorry, guys.
Okay, what is your last word because we're wrapping up now? So what's your last word before we go?
My last word is that I love Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is all I got. I love God. Sierra Leone gave me the platform to be who I am today, and I'm grateful to be a Sierra Leonean. It's a privilege. I hate to see my people fighting each other. When I see the armed forces, the authorities like the SSD and the police fighting, clashing up with rioters, and I don't care which party or tribe you belong or you come from, or political party you belong, or what kind of whatever is influencing you, whether drugs or whether just because of you disgruntled because of whatever is going on, or you are not in authority using your weapons, your arms to attack. I don't care for what reason. All I see is Mama Salone is a loser. Okay? Because when I see videos of SSDs and armed forces, the police being beat up by rioters, killed, and I see SSD shooting at poor civilians, rioters, or whatever getting killed. Who is the loser? It's Sierra Leone. It's not like America and Russia in the Cold War fighting a war like Second World War. I don't see anything like that. So I don't care whatever is going on. Yes, I understand everybody has to do whatever they're assigned to, but for me, all I see is Sierra Leoneans are dying, whether you're military, whether you're SSD, whether you're police, whether you're rioter, whether you're Mende, Timini Limbak, you whatever, Fula, Koranko, all I see is Sierra Leoneans are dying. All I see is Sierra Leoneans are grieving. All I see is Sierra Leoneans are at nowhere to get to where we ever prayed for. That's all I see. So I use this opportunity to say, please, Sierra Leoneans, all I want to see is that we like we self. This is not time for let we help we self. This is not the term where they expect. So for the play and laugh, not to term for let we defeat like puss and dog. That's all I am asking. That's why I'm in tears, all of this going on, so emotional, so broken, to the point that I decided with my own money and connections from the producer and lot of musicians, over 15 musicians, to bring them together and do a peace song, which I'm working on right now. And I believe it will help to change the attitude, the mentality, you understand? And a lot of influence is causing that. But I don't care about the influence. I don't care about the cause. I don't care about, all I care about is a day. As I did the song called The Sorriest Part, I get one fine dream, Bomi country, Salon we say by 2007, Salon go Talek heaven. I just still keep that dream to see Sierra Leone, the place that people love each other, people hug each other, the kids are playing in the backyard, they're going to better schools, they have good clothes, food on the table, there are jobs. I see people celebrating, doing intermarriage, Muslim to Christian, tribe to tribe, different tribes working together, politicians coming together. A perfect world. Yes, it will never be perfect, but what I'm trying to say, that is my dream for my country. Okay, so I am broken right now to the point that what is going on, it's a shame, it's disgraceful, it's unacceptable. And I ask that Sierra Leoneans, I don't care what's your position. As I say, whether a politician, whether armed military, militant, or whatever, or SSD, or police, or a rioter, or just a civilian, or just a tribesman, or whatever you are, whenever things happen and things go bad or somebody dies, you know who died? A Sierra Leonean. They're not going to say SLPP or APC member or a Mende or a Timini, or no, they say a Sierra Leonean. Please, my people, let's look for peace. Let's pray for peace. Let's pray for unity. Let's pray for love. Let's pray for development. Whatever is not going right, violence will not pay from both sides. From both sides. I hate to see more people die. We had enough earthquake. We had Ebola. We had 11 years civil war. We had even Corona going on right now. Is enough. I mean, is enough for us to come back and kill each other. Please, please, please. That is my message. I'm still a musician. Hopefully one day my name will change from Daddy Sarge, as it changed to Daddy Sarge to Diamond Sarge. Now I'm back to Daddy Sarge. Maybe I'll one day be called Dr. Sarge. But my dream and my goal and my passion is all for Sierra Leone. Whatever I become in the future is all for Sierra Leone. I love my people. I love everyone. I say thank you for watching. I thank SierraCast TV for the privilege to sit here and express my heartfelt, deepest love and care for, you know, and to expose myself so no one has to gossip or lie about Daddy Sarge. Okay, I'm the lyrical warrior. Kondoiti Mama, Kansi Bubu Jama, and I did take big like Saturday police, the fire, one of the odds. I love you all and thank you. Thank you, Miss Humu Koroma. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Thank you. I did not miss that one. And I thank also the producer. I don't know his name or her name.
Hamjatu Jalumin Ba.
What?
Hamjat.
Mr. Amjad. Okay. Mr. Amjad is Mrs. or Mr.
Mr.
Okay, Mr. Amjad, I think. Okay. I thank you all and I thank all the viewers for watching. It's an honor for me. And if this is all I can give, I will do it with all passion. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, we want to thank all our viewers. We're proud, very proud to have Daddy Sarge with us here today, a musical legend of Sierra Leone. My name is Humu Karoma, host of Lifestyle at SierraCast TV. My producer is Hamjat Jalumin Ba. We wish you all a wonderful evening. Stay blessed and have a wonderful week. Good night.
I'm back in business, baby. I'm taking over and push. Let me tell you the dance for the Rubaza. Now the man we get blessing calm so he plays a warm sound. Blessing Baba they are so. Blessing Baba. We not blessing. No can rub. I am blessed in the morning. I am blessed in the evening. Hallelujah, God don't bless me. Oh, blessing Baba. Me not blessing Baba. Let God no rub in a row. No can rub in a row. We God don't bless me. You know go able to bless me. Hallelujah, God don't bless me. Oh, God don't do one for me. God don't do one for me. It changed me destiny. Turn unto testimony. God don't do one for me. God don't do one for me. They say me na soldier. I know they sing again. Blessing sweet like sugar. I like the bitter like bamba. One them blessing bobo God is soldier. Come with you bobo jama panga da my Monday ama. I'm unstoppable like the Holy Ghost fire. Blessing baba. Me na blessing. No can rub.